Hello and welcome back to Children's Book Review. I'm here with the panel, Demi, Olivia and Joseph, and they are going to tell us about the book they read called Living in Hope. Okay, so Demi, was the book easy to read?
Yeah, I found it quite easy to read, but it wasn't too easy for me. I felt it was just right.
So it was challenging enough?
Yeah.
Olivia, did you find it challenging at all?
No, I thought it was just right for me. It was a very exciting book, so I got through it very quickly.
Joseph, did you think it was easy to read?
I think it was okay to read, yeah. Yeah, quite easy to read, yeah.
Okay, so your ages vary a bit, so it's good for a few ages, the book. Okay, so, Demi, what did you think of the style of writing?
I liked how it was laid out, and on some pages there was pictures with it as well to like explain how it was, like, because it made me understand it more because the pictures were there.
So the pictures are useful. Did you think the same, Olivia?
Yeah, I thought the exact same. The pictures were useful, but I think the words were just as good.
Okay, Joseph, what did you think?
Just what they said, really, yeah.
Okay, so how many chapters were there, Joseph?
Was it 12? Olivia? It was 12, wasn't it? Okay, 14,
Yeah.
let's go
Well,
with 14.
go 14. Okay, who are the main characters, Olivia?
Frida, Ishmael, Shima, and well, they're the main characters. Justin's not really.
So what are the characters, I take it they're not English, are they Rwandan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, right, who was your favourite character, Demi?
Mine was Frida because when she asked God to help her when she found out that Justin wasn't really her cousin, and Justin said to her, if you try to escape, my friends will come and get you back and you'll do even more work. And so I thought that Frida made a good way to get out, and I think Frida she has a good personality as well. She made a good part of the book. If she wasn't there, then
It might not have been as good.
yeah.
Olivia, who was your favourite character?
Mine was Ishmael because she was always so joyful, and she just wouldn't let anything bad stop her from doing what she was doing. She was just so lovely and careful.
Joseph, did you think the same?
Well, my favourite character was a boy called Sam in it. He's not a main character, but I really liked him. For one, he was always, when his friends needed help, he would always tell them what they needed and he would help them. And he was good at football.
Okay, so you all like the different characters, so clearly all the characters are very interesting, so it's going to be a good book. Were there any good points, Demi? Were there any bits that stood out from the rest of the book?
I liked it when Frida, her friends, her two little brothers, they're not really her brothers, but they live with her, and the policeman came for her and rescued her. And I like it when the policeman went to the milk shop and he found out that the milkman knew where Frida lived. So then when they came and got her, Justin wouldn't let him take, but then because the policeman was there, he knew really good questions to get him to say not anything and think, oh yeah, that's a good point, I might as well give up.
So, Olivia, what were your favourite bits?
Well, mine was just when Frida let God into her heart and she started loving him, knowing what she's done wrong and just forgiving for everything she's done.
Joseph?
Well, my favourite bit was when Sam's ball got stolen and he was accused of stealing it, so there was a lot there.
Okay, were there any bad points though? Olivia, were there any bits you didn't like?
Well, I didn't like when Frida got captured, but still it was very exciting.
Demi, were there any points you didn't like?
I liked all of the book.
Joseph?
Let me see. Well, there was one point where, like I said, Sam's ball got stolen. I was quite fed up about that because he was taken off the football team and they almost lost their championship, so...
Okay, Now we're going to go to a short clip.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of, far, far beyond the sky. Somewhere over the rainbow, God abides. In the land called glory, far, far beyond the sky. God promised me if I believed in Christ, I'd have with Him eternal life, everlasting, eternal, where I reign with Him forevermore, above the clouds, where angels soar, up high in And if someday you look for me and you can't find me, I will be with God.
Hello, welcome back to Children's Book Review. I'm here with Mary and she's here to tell us about her work as an author. So Mary, what inspired you to start writing?
Well, I had been asked to do some, in a children's magazine, to do some health education because I was working then as a health educator and nurse. And that got me hooked a bit on writing. Then later on I was asked if I would just write the stories of some of the people who'd had terrible times in Rwanda. And from that I just began to write one or two children's books, and that's how it all began.
So who do you write for?
I write both for adults and for children, but most of my writing at the moment has been for children about 8 to 12 years old.
So what is the vision of your books? What is the end product you aim to achieve?
For the children's books, I really want the children to understand that there is a loving Father there, and there is a friend and saviour who will always be with them, and they can talk to him at any time, because many children today grow up in difficult situations and maybe they haven't got anybody to tell them about the Lord and to bring them to a faith. So I hope and pray that my books will always have something that will help them and lead them to come to a faith in Jesus.
So is it only fiction books that you write for children, or do you write non-fiction as well?
No, they're fiction books for children, I've written non-fiction books as well, but they've been for adults.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you prefer to read though, fiction or non-fiction?
Probably about a balance, equal balance. I love reading biography and I love reading travel books, but I enjoy reading fiction as well.
What part though can Christian fiction play in a child's faith? Is it really important or?
Well, it was very important to me as a child, and I think that's one of the reasons I hope my books will help other children. As a child myself, when I was about 10 and 11, I had a serious spinal disease and was in hospital for months and months and months on end with nothing much to do. And one lady brought me a book called Treasures of the Snow, and that really had an impact on my life. And then she brought other books, and I began to read children's Christian fiction myself, and it influenced me a lot. And that, I think, is what I would like to bring to other children, give them an opportunity to have a really good story to read, but within that, to have Christian truth.
Okay, one of your best books is Living in Hope. What inspired you to write that book?
Well, Living in Hope was actually a sequel to this book. I Want to Be an Airline Pilot. I had been out in Rwanda helping with children who were left on their own after the genocide. We called them child-headed families. The children were gathered together in a little group. Maybe they'd be brothers and sisters, maybe they'd be cousins, maybe they'd just be friends, and look after each other. And many of them had no real homes. They were in very bad situations. And so we went out and we tried to actually help them, and we built a village of 35 little houses, and then a house for a social worker. And these children were then in a safe place. And so the basis of these stories is actually truth, although the story is fiction, and the children themselves and the adventures they have are fictional, but it is based on a real situation.
So you clearly have done a lot of work apart from just the writing. What can our viewers do to help in your aim and vision?
Well, there are many children, not just in Rwanda, but in many countries in the world, that can't go to school, the same as this little boy here, Shema, couldn't go to school because they had no money even to buy a uniform or a pencil. Children today, families today can help sponsor children so that they can go to school. They can help fundraise so that children can have things which we take for granted over here, like shoes on your feet and toothpaste and a toothbrush. And there are many charities out there which try to help children like this.
So you don't just write for children, you write for adults as well. You've written After Genocide. Can you give us a bit of an insight into that?
Yes, After Genocide There's Hope. I was asked to write the story of this man called Pastor Stephen, who was a pastor in Rwanda in the genocide and had almost all of his family were killed. Out of 90 odd people, about 84 of the family were killed. And he fled to Burundi, managed to escape, but most of the family were ambushed and killed on the way. When he got there, miraculously, he actually found in a refugee camp that his wife was alive and she was there. But God told him he had to go back to Rwanda and preach to the prisoners, those who committed genocide and killed his family. And he argued with God, but eventually he said he would. And when he did, one of the people another man who'd actually killed his sister, he came to faith in Jesus. And Stephen was able to forgive him. And together they work now, especially going around into schools to talk to the boys and girls and tell them that, we're in God's sight, we're all the same, and he loves us all the same, and we must love each other. So that was a book which really has helped other people, because all of us need to forgive, and forgiveness is a really important part of our Christian faith, that we forgive people who've hurt us.
Thanks a lot, Mary. Now we've got a short clip about a young girl who writes stories.
I know we all like the book, but we can't talk at one time, okay? Megan, what do you like about it?
I like how Cheeks and Desiree and Stuart grow their relationship as friends throughout the course of the story. I also like how they care about each other a lot. Layla, what do you like about the book?
Well, I like Miss Hodgebottom. If she was my teacher, what would I do? What about you? What was your favorite part about the book?
My favorite part was this part when they were gonna babysit Dizzy's baby, and the baby grabbed Cheeks cheek. Madison, what did you like about the book?
I absolutely love the artwork because I like how Cheeks is singing here, and I like the fake mustache he put on. I also like the part in the book where Dizzy met Bubblegum Boy. See?
I love that part. That's so funny.
Hi, my name is Chantel Song Bembry. Now, you're probably wondering what all these kids are so excited about. Well, now, I'd like to share something with you that's taken me almost 3 years to complete. I finally written and illustrated my first children's book entitled The Honey Bunch Kids. Now, The Honey Bunch Kids is about these 3 kids, Dizzy, Cheeks, and Stuart. These kids all meet up on the first day of school, but they miss their bus and end up walking to school in the rain. The 3 become great friends as they enter middle school and find out that they've got a drill sergeant for a teacher named Miss Hodgebottom. Miss Hodgebottom is very, very strict, but the kids do like her. Generally, this book is for ages 9 to 12. Any kid who loves to laugh would really enjoy this book. And as you can see, both boys and girls are crazy about the Honey Bunch Kids. And this book is very, very funny and entertaining. It's full of jokes that'll just make you laugh your head off. But aside from the comedy, it also teaches life lessons that we go through every day in our lives. It talks about friendship, jealousy, the importance of empathy, caring for others who are different from you, and self-esteem, and having confidence within yourself. Now, Dizzy, the main character, is a lot like me in many ways. She's also the one with the most confidence. She's got a great personality, she's a great friend to be around, she's funny, she's got good grades, and she's very athletic. And Stuart also has a lot of confidence. He thinks he's the coolest guy in the world, and you can't tell him anything different. Now, Cheeks is the one that struggles with his self-esteem throughout the book. He often thinks that he can't do certain things because he's not good enough, but Dizzy and Stuart often try to boost him up a little bit to make himself feel good. So the 3 balance each other out, which is very important throughout the story. My dream for the Honey Bunch Kids is to turn it into a brand that kids all across the country can enjoy. Turning it into a brand can mean turning it into a cartoon series, a movie, or even just a regular television series. And with your help, my dream can become a reality. If nothing, I want this book to promote literacy among kids. I want kids to be able to learn to love to read and just keep reading. And I want kids to really enjoy reading the Honey Bunch Kids too. This book is by a kid, for a kid. Kids love it, and I'm sure you would love it too if you would take the time to read it. So thank you for your time, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy the Honey Bunch Kids.
Okay, Demi, how has the book affected you?
It's made me realise whenever you have any problems, like, you always have to go to God first, nobody else. God will always sort it out for you.
So it was a very Christian book, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, Olivia, has it changed your point of view or anything? Or?
Well, yes, what Demi said about God, and I should care more about others, and I should stop being, well, people should stop being as selfish.
Because you are quite selfish, aren't you? Joseph, has it changed your point of view or anything?
A little bit. It's made me realise a lot more that how much more important it is to go to God, like Demi said, before anyone else, because he's the only one who could actually help you and sort it all out properly.
Joseph, would you recommend the book to a friend?
I probably would actually, yeah.
Why would your friends want to read this book though? What's so amazing about it?
Well, they would enjoy it because of the exciting parts, like when Frida was kidnapped by Justin, or maybe when Sam's ball was taken, or the kind of things like that. And I'd recommend it to them because not all of them are Christians, and I'd like them to read some books which are going to help them.
So you think you can read it whether you're Christian or not?
Yeah.
Olivia, would you recommend the book?
Well, I'd say what Joseph said, yeah, because they do love exciting books, and hopefully, because some of my friends aren't Christians, so hopefully they can start loving God because of that book.
Demi, would you recommend it to a friend?
Yeah, I think I would, because the books sort of like, all their books, it's like they read all the same. So I think this book is different and it stands out more to them, and I think they would enjoy it.
Okay, so thank you guys. Thank you for watching the show. Glad you could enjoy it with us. Now the panel will say goodbye.
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. I hate to go and leave this pretty sight. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, adieu, 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 to you and you and you. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye, goodbye.